Arjun, a young sage from the village of Visampur, sat beneath an imposing banyan tree, attentively listening to the stories told by his grandmother, a woman with silver hair and eyes that seemed to contain the wisdom of ages. The sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, as his grandmother spoke about the cycles of creation and destruction that permeate the universe. "My dear," she said, her voice soft as a whisper of the wind, "life is like a dance where creation and destruction intertwine. Vishnu preserves, Brahma creates, and Kali destroys, but all are part of a grand cycle." Arjun felt a chill in his stomach upon hearing these words. He had always had an insatiable curiosity, a yearning to understand what lay beyond the boundaries of his village. "Grandma, do you really think I'll one day see these gods?" he asked, hope shining in his eyes. His grandmother smiled enigmatically. "If your heart is pure and your intentions true, the universe may open its doors for you." That night, Arjun had a vivid dream. He found himself in a vast field of flowers, and a radiant figure appeared before him. It was Vishnu, with skin as blue as the sky and a smile that illuminated everything around. "Arjun," the god said, his voice echoing like distant thunder, "your journey is about to begin. Seek knowledge and understand the cycles that govern the multiverse." Upon waking, the young man felt a renewed determination. He knew he could no longer stay in the village. With a heart pulsating with expectation, he said goodbye to his grandmother, who embraced him tenderly, sensing the depth of his decision. "Go, my grandson, and remember that love and wisdom will always be with you." With a backpack on his back and a blessing on his lips, Arjun set out toward the unknown, the image of Vishnu still vivid in his mind. After days of walking, he arrived at an ancient temple, its stones covered in moss and the air infused with history. Inside, shadows danced under the flickering candlelight, and the scent of incense lingered in the air. Arjun explored the place, his fingers brushing against the cold walls, until he found a dusty manuscript, its yellowed pages revealing secrets about the multiverse and the eternal dance of the gods. "This is where my journey begins," murmured Arjun, his heart racing. He knew that destiny awaited him, and the quest for understanding and wisdom was only just beginning. As Arjun navigated the dark corridors of the temple, sunlight filtered through cracks in the ancient stones. The air was infused with a sweet scent of incense, and he felt as though something divine was watching over him. In one of the altars, he encountered an imposing figure, with skin as dark as the night and eyes reflecting the wisdom of the universe. It was Kali, the goddess of destruction, surrounded by an aura of power and mystery. "Arjun, child of knowledge, you have sought the truth, and now the truth finds you," Kali said, her voice echoing like a gentle thunder. "A great evil approaches, threatening the balance that sustains creation." Arjun felt a shiver run down his spine at her words. "What can I do to help, Goddess Kali? I am just a young sage in search of knowledge." Kali tilted her head, her black hair swirling like living serpents. "You must find the lotus of Brahma. In it lies the key to restoring the balance that has been disrupted. Only one who possesses a pure heart can claim it." "But where can I find this lotus?" Arjun questioned, his mind racing with the implications of the mission. Kali extended her hand, and an image appeared in her palm, a splendid flower floating in a serene lake, surrounded by majestic mountains. "This is the path. Follow it and do not be deceived. Not everyone you meet will be your ally. Some may have hidden intentions." Arjun nodded, feeling the weight of the task entrusted to him. "I will do what is necessary to protect the balance." "Then go, young sage, but remember," Kali warned, her eyes deepening. "Trust is a rare gift and often dangerous." With one last look at the goddess, Arjun turned and left the temple, the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The journey unfolding before him was filled with uncertainties, but he was determined to move forward, guided by Kali's wisdom and the light of knowledge beginning to shine in his heart. Arjun walked cautiously through the dense forest, the the scent of wet earth and green leaves blending with the fresh air. Sunlight filtered through the treetops, creating dancing patterns on the ground covered with dry leaves. The young sage was focused, but the feeling of being watched unsettled him. He knew that Kali's words were true, and the dark presence following him felt more than just a mere premonition. Suddenly, Arjun spotted a group of shadowy figures in the distance. They were disguised as lost travelers, but their bright eyes and the way they moved betrayed their malicious intentions. "Look, a solitary traveler," exclaimed one of the demons, a wicked smile plastered on his face. "Come, friend, join us. We are searching for a safe place." Arjun's heart raced. He knew that kindness did not dwell within those beings. "Thank you, but I prefer to continue my journey alone," he replied, keeping his voice steady. "The forest is vast and full of opportunities. You need not worry about me." The demons exchanged furtive glances, and one of them, with a cruel laugh, insisted, "Alone? No one can traverse this forest without help. Come, let us guide you to safety." Drawing on his wisdom, Arjun remembered the lessons he had learned about deception and disguises. "If you truly wish to help, show me the way in the light of day, not through darkness," he challenged them. The demons hesitated, and Arjun seized the opportunity to quickly distance himself, running toward the nearest clearing. He felt the dark presence intensify, as if the demons were pursuing him with fierce determination. The sound of laughter echoed behind him, but he did not look back. Focusing on his breath, he summoned the strength of his mission and quickened his pace. After hours of running, Arjun reached a sacred mountain, its rocks shimmering in the light of the setting sun. Fatigue weighed heavily on his muscles, but the view before him was breathtaking. At the summit, a venerable figure awaited. It was an ancient sage, clad in long white robes, with a beard that seemed to touch the ground. "Welcome, young sage," the elder said in a deep, soothing voice. "I am Narayana, guardian of the Yugas. What brings you to this sacred place?" Still panting, Arjun replied, "I seek the lotus of Brahma, which can restore the balance of the universe. I find myself on a journey filled with dangers and traps." Narayana nodded, his eyes shining with wisdom. "The quest for the lotus is more than a physical journey. You must understand the cycles of time, the yugas. Each era has its purpose and lessons. Destruction is as necessary as creation. Only by comprehending this can you proceed." Arjun listened intently, absorbing every word. "How can I learn more about the yugas and their significance?" "Come sit with me," Narayana gestured. "Together, we shall explore the truths that shape the cosmos. Wisdom is a lamp that illuminates the path, even in the deepest darkness." And so, under the shadow of the sacred mountain, Arjun prepared to receive the teachings that would shape his destiny and help him face what lay ahead. With determination, Arjun advanced toward the temple where the lotus of Brahma was guarded. The imposing structure, adorned with divine sculptures and enigmatic inscriptions, rose against the blue sky like a monument to ancient wisdom. As he approached, the young sage felt a vibrant energy emanating from within, as if the temple itself were alive. "This is where my journey meets its destiny," Arjun murmured, his voice filled with reverence. He pushed open the massive stone doors, which creaked deeply, revealing a central chamber bathed in a golden light that seemed to float in the air. In the center, on an ornate pedestal, lay the lotus of Brahma, its petals shimmering as if made of stars. But before Arjun could step closer, a shadow loomed in the entrance. A colossal demon, with black scales and fiery eyes, strode into the temple, blocking his path. "What does a mere sage do here?" The creature laughed, its voice echoing like thunder. "This lotus belongs to me. It will grant me the power to dominate all worlds." Arjun felt fear rising within him, but the determination to protect what was sacred overcame his hesitation. "I cannot allow you to do that. The lotus is the key to restoring the balance of the universe," he replied, his voice firm and resolute. The demon advanced, its sharp teeth gleaming in the light. "Do you think you can stop me? Come, then, and prove your worth. The battle began, and Arjun, drawing on his newly acquired knowledge, recalled the lessons from the sage on the sacred mountain. He concentrated, seeking within himself the wisdom he had accumulated. I will not fight with brute strength, but with the truth I know, Arjun exclaimed, raising a hand and beginning to chant a mantra that evoked the essence of the lotus. The light in the temple began to pulse in response, enveloping him in a radiant glow. The demon hesitated, confused by the light emanating from Arjun. "What are you doing? This cannot stop me," it roared, but the influence of the mantra was growing, forming a shield of purity around the sage. "You underestimate the power of knowledge and truth," Arjun declared, his confidence growing. He advanced, channeling his energy into a single impulse. The demon, now surrounded by light, began to writhe, the shadow of its form unraveling in the glow of the lotus. "No, it can't be," it screamed as Arjun's light enveloped it, until with one final cry, the creature was banished, leaving only calm in the temple. Arjun, now exhausted but triumphant, looked at the lotus, which seemed to shine even more brightly. He had proven that knowledge and light were more powerful than any brute force. "I did it," he whispered to himself as he approached the pedestal, his heart racing with anticipation of what was about to happen. With the lotus of Brahma firmly in his hands, Arjun crossed the forest leading to the temple where he had first encountered Kali. The glow of the lotus emitted a gentle light, as if the universe itself were pulsing through it. As he walked, his mind buzzed with thoughts about what he might find upon his arrival. What would it mean to restore balance? And most importantly, who was Kali really? As soon as he arrived at the temple, the atmosphere felt different. The air was thick with a dense and unsettling energy. Arjun entered cautiously, and the shadows danced on the ancient stone walls, as if whispering ancestral secrets. He called out for Kali, but the response did not come immediately. Instead, a low, resonant laugh echoed through the walls, making his heart race. Finally, Kali emerged from the shadows, her presence imposing and seductive. But unlike the benevolence Arjun had felt before, there was an aura of manipulation around her. Arjun, you've returned, and you brought the lotus, I see. But you still don't understand, do you?" she said, her eyes sparkling with an enigmatic light. "What do you mean, Kali?" Arjun asked, his voice steady, though fear began to creep into his mind. "I am here to restore balance." Kali let out a laugh, her words dancing in the air. "Balance? Do you really believe that order can exist without a touch of chaos? I am chaos, dear one. I have always been here, manipulating the threads that you've only just begun to perceive." Arjun hesitated, the lotus weighing in his hands. "You can't want me to use this power to fuel destruction," he asserted, fighting against the doubt that began to settle in his heart. Kali stepped closer, her voice now a seductive whisper. "Think carefully, Arjun. With me, you could gain unimaginable knowledge. Together, we could shape the universe to our will." He felt torn, the temptation to ally with her weighing against his duty to protect the cosmos. "And if I don't choose you? What if I decide to use the lotus for good?" Arjun challenged, determination rising in his chest. Kali smiled, an expression that blended allure and threat. "Then you would only be delaying the inevitable. Chaos will always find its way. The choice is yours, young sage." Silence hung in the air as Arjun pondered the consequences of his actions. He knew that the decision he made now would define not only his fate, but the fate of the entire universe. As Arjun hesitated, his heart pounding wildly, a golden light suddenly burst into the temple, and Vishnu, the preserver god, appeared before him, radiant and majestic. "Arjun," Vishnu said in a deep, serene voice, "do not fear. Truth reveals itself when the spirit connects with its true self." "But I am not worthy," Arjun murmured. "I never wished to be a god. I just sought to understand the universe." Vishnu smiled, and the warmth of his presence wrapped around Arjun like a cloak. "You are not just a sage, my young one. You are the reincarnation of an ancient god, one who has faced Kali in times past. Your quest for knowledge and balance has always been part of your divine essence. Now, you must choose the path that will lead to the balance of the cosmos. Vishnu's words penetrated Arjun's soul like a ray of light in the darkness. He felt the truth resonate within him, an echo of ancient power and wisdom. I understand now, Arjun said, his voice more resolute. I cannot allow Kali to destroy what has been created. Vishnu nodded. Use the lotus of Brahma. With it, you can banish Kali and restore order. Arjun looked at the lotus in his hand, the radiant flower pulsing with energy. He turned to Kali, who was now writhing in chaotic fury, her eyes burning with rage. Kali, your dominion over chaos has come to an end, he declared, his voice echoing through the temple. Kali laughed, but her laughter was a mix of admiration and contempt. Do you really think you can stop me, Arjun? Chaos is part of the cycle of life. Yes, but chaos must be balanced by order, Arjun replied, raising the lotus. I'm no longer just a sage. I am a guardian of creation. With a determined gesture, Arjun invoked the power of Brahma's lotus. An intense light burst forth from the flower, enveloping Kali in a blinding glow. The goddess of chaos screamed, her form twisting as she tried to escape the light. No, this cannot be happening. But it was too late. The power of Arjun, now awakened, was irresistible. The light of the lotus trapped her in her own turmoil, and Kali was banished, her chaos reduced to silence. As the dust settled, Arjun fell to his knees, exhausted yet relieved. Vishnu and Brahma approached him, their imposing figures radiating approval. You did well, Arjun, Brahma said, his voice soft as a whispering wind. Now you understand your role. I cannot do this alone, Arjun replied, looking at the gods. I need your guidance. You are not alone, Vishnu reassured him. You have become part of the eternal dance between creation and destruction. Together, we will be the guardians of balance. Arjun smiled, feeling a new purpose take hold of his being. The universe would continue its dance, and he, now aware of his true nature, would walk alongside the gods, tending to the cosmic balance.